After that first video, I got a couple of death threats from the physics community. They sent me this. It looks like they want to mess my maths up. In my first video I said the overwhelmingly common advice for people struggling with weight loss is diet and exercise. And this concept is an application of the physics principle of the law of the conservation of energy. However, there are other factors that can seemingly bend the laws of physics in the biology of the human body. I don't actually think they do bend the laws of physics. They just appear to because we don't know enough about the biology of the human body to explain these phenomena. Here are a few that I've come up with. 1. Your weight loss is massively affected by your health status when you start. If your endocrine or cardiopulmonary system is under par, then weight loss is going to be much harder. If you've beaten your adrenal or thyroid glands to a pulp, or your VO2 max is under 30 milliliters per kilogram per minute, to name but a few, weight loss is going to be erratic, non-existent, or even go the other way with diet and exercise. Glands are a grey area. The medical profession recognises extremes that are life-threatening, but has a blind spot over the area in the middle. Take the adrenal glands. There are two ends of the spectrum. Addison's disease, which is insufficient adrenal production, and Cushing's disease, which is an excess of adrenal production. Everything else, they feel, is normal. That's like saying a brain-dead patient and Ziggy from Quantum Leap are two ends of the spectrum, and everything else is normal. But common sense lets us readily accept there's a league of difference between Forrest Gump and Rain Man. If your adrenal glands are functioning more like Lloyd than Will Hunting, you're going to have a problem. And this is echoed with the thyroid gland. Better to be Walter White than Bill and Ted. And when these glands are a little slow on the uptake, you're going to notice odd effects when you try diet and exercise. 2. Your weight loss is massively affected by how much muscle you have when you start your diet and exercise and how much you keep during the diet and exercise process. For some people, low percentage lean muscle mass seems to mean that you utilize calories in a different way. Your body will want to store the calories you consume as fat rather than burn it as fuel. I think there has to be a mechanism that we haven't fully analysed that can allow prolonged activity to be done without using glycogen or fat as the predominant substrate. Dr. Singh, get a load of this joker! Stat! Is the muscle itself being used as fuel? Possibly. If it was, it might explain why there are those that have been heavily overweight for all those years, but aren't stronger for carrying all that extra weight. MRIs have shown that the obese actually have less muscle mass. Now, studies on athletes who wore weighted vests 24 hours a day for a couple of weeks showed significant increases in their strength. By that rationale, the overweight should all be stronger than normal. They aren't. I mentioned Extreme Makeover Weight Loss Edition, and one factor that did correlate very well with weight loss was strength. If a person was strong, indicating they had high muscle mass, they had phenomenal weight loss and broke records. If they were weak, they struggled with weight loss. No kidding, stupid! Muscle's the most metabolically active tissue in the body. An extra kilo burns an extra 25 calories. Well, some people think it's more like 6 to 10 calories, but the jury's out on that one. But regardless of the specific amount, when people think about losing weight, diet is the first thing that pops into their head or they're told, not strength training. And finally, the doctor that would tell their patient who wants to lose weight that the first thing they need to do is ensure that they have enough muscle to protect them endocrinologically from the stress of weight loss. Because losing weight through diet is a significant stress, like training, on the body. 3. Your weight loss is massively affected by your biomechanics. Ensuring your biomechanics is sound, especially in your core, hips and thighs, is super important for 2 reasons. When you exercise, you decrease your risk of injury, which is only going to stall your weight loss, but good biomech is also going to increase your rate of weight loss. The core, hips and thighs are the fat-burning cauldron. If your biomechanics are suspicious, then you're using your joints, tendons and ligaments to do the work that your muscles should. This is not going to burn as much fat as the muscle would if you allowed the muscle to do it properly. But who thinks biomechanics in weight loss? The first port of call is nutrition. The second port of call is low-intensity aerobic exercise like walking or elliptical, which doesn't help maintain muscle mass. But these ports fit neatly with the law of conservation of energy. Backing away, backing away. Diet and exercise is fuel and the journey. But the human body, like a car, needs more than just petrol and a map. You need a fully functioning serviced car, a big enough engine, and balanced wheels, among many things. And honestly, journeys have you ever been on where you put less petrol in the car than you needed to complete the journey, especially when you were carrying a little bit extra? I reckon that's a recipe for a long walk to the petrol station.
Mental doggy bag time.
If diet and exercise work, they'll start to work quickly and they'll continue to work. If they don't, please don't just do more and eat even less. The struggle with weight loss is indicating health, muscle or biomechanical problems that are exacerbated by more dieting or more low-intensity CV. Your endocrine system has to be functioning efficiently and your cardiopulmonary system has to be at normal to get normal or expected weight loss. Exercise is essential, and if you're going to diet, then strength training is the best personal barometer you have to ensure that you're not losing too much muscle through food group elimination or caloric restriction. Poor biomechanics tend to indicate that you're not using your skeleton correctly, and good hip and core mechanics are crucial in long-term weight maintenance. And this view has been eloquently discussed by Professor Shakira at Columbia University. In my next video, I'm going to go through the steps to losing weight when weight loss is a struggle, not happening, or going the other way with diet and exercise. In the meantime, do some exercise by tapping the like button, and if your hips don't lie, then please subscribe.